probably need the microphones on. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Community Voice. Today is Wednesday, February 26th, and we are live streaming this morning's episode of Community Voice, our interview with the Carroll County Genealogical Society's president, Robert Blakemore, on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page. So if you have any questions or comments for our guest, please feel free to throw those in the chat. I think this is definitely a popular topic. Folks are,
yes.
I love seeing this. Well, we were talking before the break, like talking about forward thinking. It's pretty cool to see this backward thinking.
Yes.
And not in any negative connotation, but, kind of filling in our history, because everyone is so unique. And everyone has such a unique background and genealogical history, and most people are aware of less than 1% of it, I would have to guess.
I guess when you start thinking about, 200 years ago, Carroll County, 1826, this was all trees. There were no roads. There were no, nothing. It was just all trees. And people came in, started cutting the trees down and cutting roads in, and I guess developing the area. And fortunately, we were able to capture some of the names back then through land deeds and land lottery awards and things like that. So we have a list of names of people who were here that were, building the area. And a lot of those names from those early forefathers are still in the community. And that's the neat part of it. So you can find trace your records back.
It's interesting. Even before the show, we were in there with Colin and we were talking. It is cool to see how this not only exploring the genealogical and ancestry space doesn't just fill in your own family's personal story, but it really does kind of paint a full scope story.
Yes.
About an area. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I do think that I would actually want to pick your brain more on just that, just sort of the history of this area. But before we do, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to tell the folks at home a little bit about you, and then tell them about the Carroll County Genealogical Society.
Okay. I'm Robert Blakemore. I've been in Carroll County area, since 1972, and we got married, 4 children. And everybody's grown now, and I'm retired, so now I've got free time, they say, to do these kinds of things. But I enjoy doing it. I got started in genealogy about 24 years ago, and by accident. We were on the telephone with, tech support, trying to get the computer to fix years ago, back in 2000, I think. And while I was waiting for the tech guy to come back, I just Googled the Blakemore name. And there was a couple of things that kind of popped up, but then it had Blakemore genealogy. And then I got, well, that's kind of cool. So I started looking at it. And then the tech guy came back, and so we got the computer fixed. And then I got kind of hooked. So I went back to the site, and I was able to find, I found a lot of the names that I was familiar with, our family names. And then I come to find out that the group that had published that document were actually looking for our family, to where do we go, where do we come from, where are we doing now? And so I was able to tie in with them, and we found a ton of information on, the Blakemore family name, where we came from Virginia down the Clinch River and helped settle Nashboro, which became Nashville. And then we migrated down to Huntsville and down into Alabama, Anniston, Sylacauga, and then on into Georgia. But it's kind of neat when you start looking back at where your family came from and the things that they were able to do in that time frame. The unfortunate part that we ran into is back in that day, all the children honored their parents and grandparents by naming them. So we've got one dad who had four sons, and all 4 of their sons were named James. So now we're like, so we went to the Civil War records, and it's got James Blakemore. I said, well, which one?
Yeah, there's 4 brothers.
Yeah, there was 4 brothers who had 4 sons, and all of them were named James.
These 2 fought for the north, these 2 fought for the south.
So it's like, well, who belongs to who? And all because they didn't have Social Security numbers back then, and it's really it was just their first name and maybe a middle initial. So it's just kind of, you find those kinds of things, but then you dig a little bit deeper and you're able to kind of trace some of the information so we can identify a lot of what we have now, where who's who.
That's amazing. So the Carroll County Genealogical Society, if someone wanted to join this organization, This is a group of
Yes.
of about how many people?
We've got about, regretted, close to 80 members now.
Wow. Okay, so if you let's say you were born and raised in this area, that probably would be preferable. I
Yes.
imagine a lot easier to track.
Yes.
Because I'm from North Georgia, so
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. But I'm sure there's some groups up there I might could hit up. But if you grew up in this area, in this neck of the woods, and you have family going back a few generations, I mean,
Yes.
this is something that anyone could look into and join.
I guess yes, because we've been able to, I guess through our quarterly journals that we published. I think the first one was 1981. We've got close to 129,000 surnames that are searchable in the database there.
Wow.
And so and it's really not just people from Carroll County, it's the people who possibly could have moved through here. Because the path, I guess, Carroll, as it was developing counties, and I think the land lottery went in 1826, so people started moving here, but then they moved on. A lot came in when they were building the railroad, and they built the railroad and then moved on.
And so we're talking about the early 1800s?
Early 1800s.
And that's when the county was taking shape?
1826 is, I think, 1826 is the official date.
Whoa.
When the county was formed,
So you'll have this drift, folks coming in to work on construction projects, railroads, something, and then some of them would move on. Any recognizable names from our area that a lot of family may have moved on to other places?
Well, I know Stevenson name was big. The Merrill name was big. McDaniel, the Adamson name, of course, was big. And the
Mandeville
name, and the Kingsbury. It was actually kind of neat. The Kingsbury moved here from Vermont, and he built a lot of buildings some of the buildings on the square. He invited his friend L.E. Mandeville to come down, and he's the one who eventually, I guess, built Mandeville Mills and those kinds of things. I guess built probably the Carrollton City.
I live on a road right off
Yes.
of Mandeville Street.
Yes.
That's so funny.
It's just kind of neat when you start seeing it. And I guess it's like now when I run into people, I guess when they introduce themselves, I say, I got some information on that name. I wonder if I should share it with them. Because
Well, and that's such an interesting position to be in, because clearly, I mean, this is the ultimate, advertisement for this organization.
Yes.
Is the amount of information you have in your head.
Yes.
And this has all been acquired through research and investigation. This is all starting before the ancestries.com, and where it's the DNA and they connect. I'm sure that has made things a lot easier and filled in some gaps.
And I guess when we started in 1976, everything was by hand. So if you wanted information about your family, you had to go back to the courthouse.
Yeah, the archives.
Or the archives, state archives. You had to go back to the libraries and looking for depositories back then. And you had to go to the home place to look for information. Now a lot of it is online, and you're able to search. And I guess that's kind of what the society is doing now, is we're trying to take more of the information and put it online. So a lot of the tax records, a lot of the marriage records, those types of things, we're accumulating, transcribing that information so that we can get it online so people can search. I guess that was the one thing because it really is still, you have to sometimes go to the courthouse. Sometimes you still have to make those trips to see the actual document. But I remember going to Sylacauga, Alabama, looking for my family. And I get there, and it took me about an hour and a half to really get acclimated to where the information was. Sure. What we're trying to do is put enough information online so you can say, yes, they have the book I need. And we tell you what shelf it's on, that kind of thing, so that when you come, you can be more productive in your search.
That's amazing. Well, we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break, but just to remind the audience here, we do have Robert Blakemore, president of the Carroll County Genealogical Society, today on the show. We're going to be talking about some awesome additions to the website, a revamped website with a few more resources available. I say a few more, I'm sure it's tons. There are going to be some new resources available on the website, so we're going to talk a bit about more of that in detail, and we're also going to promote this upcoming event, AI and Technology in Genealogical Research. It's going to be a presentation by Kate Penny Howard, who is a genetic genealogist and speaker, and it's going to be at the Neva Lomason Library coming up on March 15th from 10 a.m. to noon. This event is free and open to the public. We'll give you some more information about that, but information is available online. But be sure to check out this AI and technology and genealogical research presentation. It's going to be very, very cool. All right, so time is 8:40. We're going to take our first commercial break. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
Oak Mountain Academy is an innovative school of academic excellence celebrating over 61 years. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to join us on the mountain to see our mission and vision in action. Academic excellence, a faith-based environment, and dynamic opportunities are just a few of the reasons our families choose Oak Mountain Academy. Academic scholarships and tuition assistance are available. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Consider the Mobius strip. Take a strip of paper, twist it, connect the ends. This connection forms a continuous loop. Seamless, infinite. That's how your healthcare should be too. At Tanner Health, the Mobius is our symbol and our promise, representing our continuum of care and our commitment that the services you need will be here for you always. We're not just changing healthcare, we're redefining it. See more at tanner.org.
And we're back to Community Voice. Today's Wednesday, February 26th. If you're just joining us, this morning's episode with President of the Carroll County Genealogical Society, Robert Blakemore, is currently being live streamed on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page. So if you have any questions or comments for our guests, please feel free to throw those in the chat. I'd be happy to read those out to him. A quick plug for the Carroll County Genealogical Society. The society meets quarterly on the fourth Thursday of January, April, July, and October. Meetings begin at 6, and that's 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Yes.
And normally at the they're normally at the Naval Lomason Library in Carrollton. They also host 2 workshops, one in March and the other in September. And there are 2 social events: a picnic in June and a Christmas luncheon in December. If you would like more information, you can visit ccgsga.org, or you can reach out via email ccgsga76@gmail.com. What's the significance of 76?
That's when we began.
Okay, cool.
1976.
I had a feeling. All right. So let's talk about this revamped website. It's ccgsga.org.
Yes.
How long has the website been around? And let's talk about some of the updates.
The website's been around, I guess, since around 2005, somewhere in there. But what we've done now is we've compiled a lot of information, and we kind of just stuck it on a kind of make-believe shelf kind of thing in the website. But now we've got it organized so that it's easier to find the information. Kevin Hemphill with Red Cube Creative, he was super.
He's our weatherman.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. We love him.
And he really gave us some ideas and really kind of helped focus the layout. And so from it, now we've got the 4 tabs up at the top, and the I guess under the tab indexes, it shows, as you start off with the obituaries. And we've got, I think, right at 75,000 obituaries that are listed there. Wow. And I think it goes from 1872 to the year 2018. So if you had ancestors in the Carroll County area, anywhere in that time frame, we probably have their obituary or death notice. And these are all on the website and searchable. And so, like I said, we've had, I guess, migratory paths. So you may have had family here. And we have probably 50% of our membership comes from outside this area who had ancestors here and they're looking for them.
So they may have had ancestors come in, help establish a business or build some railroads, and then they'd move on to another town. But you still are going to have family that was here at that time.
And I guess that was one of the things with the, I guess our record keeping is they may have moved in after the census, moved out before the next census. So they don't show up in the census. But they showed up in the tax digest. They show up in the marriage records. They show up. Don Levin's a good friend of ours. He had let us use his ledger from his grandfather's country store. And in it, it's really, I guess, from the year 1890 when the census was destroyed, we were able to build back, and it didn't have all the family names, but at least it listed the parent, and they were still in this community.
It's very creative.
So you have to look at some non-traditional resources, and I guess that's what we're pushing online. The quarterly journals that we do, like I said, we've got 172 quarterly journals that are online and searchable, and each journal has got like 40 pages of information on the website, and it's got like, I think there's 6,880 pages with over 130 1,000 surnames that you can go to the indexes and find your family's name, and then you can actually go to the quarterly that they're published in. And a lot of this is going to be tax digest, pedigree charts, marriage records, church records, cemetery records, court records, school census, early land lot, mortgage deeds, and military records, those kinds of things, and just community histories, stories about what families did during that time. So you may not be able to find your family, but at least you'll kind of know if this other family experienced this one thing, then my family probably experienced it too. You may not have you see their name, but you may not have their story. But if your neighbor went through that, then I probably went through it too. I know. So I guess you start surmising those kinds of things. And then we also have the military discharge records, which we went in and transcribed the records from the courthouse, listing the name, the book, and the page number that the record is in. And so when you're searching that list there, you can at least say, my family is there. Then you go to the courthouse and you could pull up the actual discharge record, which has got all of their military information on it. But we've got, I think there's like 23 pages of names that we have there, and we're updating that now because the last update was 2010, and now we're bringing it up to date to 2024.
Wow. And who's transcribing all these? You and the rest of the society?
Well, Betty Jo Parsons and Sam Powell, they're the ones that's kind of working, and Don Levin is kind of helping out too.
Wow.
And but they're all three of those are kind of working and transcribing those records.
Wow. So that's the military service just discharge papers.
Yes.
And that you're updating since 2010, and then you also have a World War I Veterans Index.
Yes, and I guess it's kind of neat because it does show, I guess, all the names, and we work with the Carroll County Veterans Memorial Park on getting these names together, and kind of we share that site there. But it's lists each of the veterans from World War I, and if they were in the Carroll County area, their name is there. And there's like a ton of names in that listing there. And I think some of them you can pull up their military records. And some of those are actually online, I think, that you could actually see.
Wow.
So it is kind of neat when you start looking, if you've had family anywhere in Carroll County, we probably have information on them.
Wow, that's amazing. So if people were to go to the website, and it looks like here, if they go under tab resources, then they can get to some additional information.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Under I guess that first part of that top page of there is what we've done is we've gone in and we're listing all the family history books that we've got, which we have 275 books. And we're going to publish that whole list, and so it's online. So if you're looking for a particular book about your family or a family name, it's going to be on the website. And the title of it will be, so at least you know we have the book. And same thing, I guess, we're listing all of the 480, I think, microfilm rolls.
Oh, yeah.
We have a large collection of microfilm rolls at the Naval Omerson Library in the Special Collections or Local History Room. And which, I guess the thing is, what we're trying to do is tell you what we have, so that when you come here, you're better prepared to do your research. You can be more productive and get more done.
Wow.
At least we have the information on your family.
Excellent. Well, tell us more. What other changes have been done to the website?
I guess it's kind of, and we try to highlight, I guess, the upcoming events, and we list the most current past events and then the current events that we're doing, just to kind of give you an idea of what we're doing in the society and the information that we're trying to share, some of the past workshops and those kinds of things, so that people will know that we are, I guess, an active society and that we are pushing, like I said, trying to get as much information online as possible. And I guess one of the popular things is the research request. We have a link there where you can put in the information, the person's name that you're looking for, any information that you have, like marriage records or date of birth, date of death, those kinds of things. If you give us that information, what we'll do, we have a committee that Darnell Smith is kind of heading that up, and what we'll do is go through our records and kind of see what we have, and then whatever we find, we'll send to you.
Wow.
And so that was really kind of, especially if you're outside this area, at least you know it will be a productive trip. So when you come, and we have several people that have come from out of the area. We had one guy send a research request, and this was an easy one because it was challenging at first, but his name, I think it was, his family member was James Monroe Stevenson, and he had a brother, James, I guess a cousin, I think that was there, that was James Madison Stevenson. And so, but they signed their names James B. Stevenson. Wow. And so he would say, which one is mine? Because he kept seeing the names. So we were able to do some research and track the names through the census and through the church records from Eden Baptist Church, which became Bowden Baptist Church. And we were able to distinguish that one of them, James Monroe, was at the Kansas area, and James Madison was because we found his wife's name. And both of them joined the church at the same time. So we were able to separate the records for him, so he knows which James Madison is his. James M. Madison is his family now. And but it was kind of neat. I guess just through the records they were able to discern that, yes, this one's yours and this one is over here. But a lot of times they did sign just, James B., and there were a lot of similar names back then.
Yeah, or people that were signing with an X or something,
Yeah. Yes.
They didn't realize back then, when they were going to the store or something, signing with an X or something. They had no idea years later there'd be people obsessing over it.
I tell people that if our ancestors knew that we were going to be looking for them, they would have left more clues. But they did. I guess they were just busy surviving, busy living, that they didn't think about leaving clues for us.
Probably out there like carving initials in a tree or something like, oh yeah, they'll find this.
Yes.
That's awesome. Time is 8:51. We're chatting with President Robert Blakemore, President of the Carroll County Genealogical Society. We've been chatting about some updates to the website, ccgsga.org. I mean, wow, what an immense amount of information. I mean, we're talking about, 6,880 pages with over 130,000 surnames listed in the journals, 75,000 scanned obituaries from 1872 to 2018, military service discharge papers, and so much more. So definitely go check out the website. If you have any burning questions about some family members and you have some information, Robert and his team might be the one that can kind of help start you on your path to investigating that history. I did want to, one more time before we take our break, also plug the Carroll County Genealogical Society's upcoming event. It is the Kate Penny Howard presentation. She is a genetic genealogist and speaker, and she is going to be doing a talk on March 15th called AI and Technology in Genealogical Research. And that's going to be at the Naval Lomason Library on March 15th. That's 710 Rum Street from 10 a.m. to noon. The event is free, but RSVP by emailing ccgsga76@gmail.com. We're going to go and take our last commercial break. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
The AP Scholar Journey at Oak Mountain Academy is designed to provide students with a clearly defined advanced placement curriculum track to earn a series of distinctions upon graduation. This journey enables academically prepared students to pursue college-level studies throughout 17 AP courses in 5 subject categories while enrolled at OMA. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Consider the Mobius strip. Take a strip of paper, twist it, connect the ends. This connection forms a continuous loop. Seamless, infinite. That's how your healthcare should be too. At Tanner Health, the Mobius is our symbol and our promise, representing our continuum of care and our commitment that the services you need will be here for you always. We're not just changing healthcare, we're redefining it. See more at tanner.org.
And welcome back to Community Voice, Wednesday, February 26th. I am your host, Josh Engel, and we're about to wrap up our conversation with the president of the Carroll County Genealogical Society, Robert Blakemore, who's just an absolute sweetheart. What an angel he is. Also, you're so well-spoken. I mean, you came on with tons of information, and you managed to kind of get it all out so gracefully. So if you're just tuning in, please be sure to check out the podcast of this episode with the Carroll County Genealogical Society, which will be uploaded to this station's website, as well as gradicommunications.com. Or you can check out the amazing work of our videographer, Joel, and you can check out the live stream video that is on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page. Check it out. There's a lot of good information in there, particularly for those that are interested in tracking some of their genealogy. And be sure to share it, let folks know, because this is a lot of hard work has been put into updating this website and these records. And it would be great to spread the word because, I mean, there are a lot of people that are going to benefit from this and really love this. So So let's talk about this event. We've been chatting about it throughout the show. It's coming up on March 15th, AI and Technology and Genealogical Research. It's going to be at Naval Omisson Library. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I guess, like I said, with the Society, we do try to host 2 workshops each year. And something that's pertinent to genealogical research or helping us develop our tools. The AI is going to be super phenomenal because it's new, but it's what you can do, I guess, with the artificial intelligence.
It's incredible. Yeah. I'm a subscriber to ChatGPT. Okay. I love it. I'm happy to pay for it. I mean, I uploaded a document just yesterday, and it was hundreds of pages long, and it read it in a fraction of a second, yes, and then started like breaking out some key points or finding something I was trying to look for. Yes. And I was just blown away. The speed at which it can process information is incredible.
Yes, and I guess that's what we're hoping to, learn is how we can use that tool, because it will take the genealogical records, analyze it, and then give us a summary of what it's looked for, what it's looked through. And it's going to help us because, I guess, when you start looking for family records, you're reading volumes of books sometimes trying to find that one tidbit of information about your family. Because a lot of the books don't have the indexes in them that shows what page your family name is on, so you're reading the whole book to kind of find that one sentence that says, yes, he was at that fort. But AI is going to really help as far as analyzing the information, and then also is going to be tremendous as far as putting our information together in a usable format so that we can pass it on to our families. Excellent. And I guess that's going to be the part. And then I guess she's going to talk about some of the new technology tools that are available in helping people, I guess, do their research. In the old days, you had to take a bag of quarters, a bag of nickels and dimes, and make copies of each of the books or pages and those kinds of things. Now you've got scanners. You can scan with your phone. You could scan with the iPad, and you have a permanent copy of it now.
And it's amazing because these AI systems can, once provided the documents, you can say, hey, check out this 2,000-page document. Find any reference to James B. or something like that. And it might find every single one of them, print them out, and maybe even connect you to other resources.
That's correct. And I guess that's the thing that we're looking to do here is help us to see, because we keep looking for clues. One clue leads to another clue, which leads to another clue, which leads to the gold mine. And then you find the gold mine, and it's like, there's your family. And that's what we did is I remember going to Huntsville looking for my family there, and Becky and I, we went on a kind of a research trip together. She was looking for the Browns. I was looking for the Blakemores. She asked the guy at the counter, because they got a phenomenal room there, and she said, I'm looking for the Brown family. And he said, well, there may be some documents over here on this shelf. There may be some books over here. And so she said, okay. She starts over there, and he looks at me and said, well, who are you looking for? I said, I'm looking for Blakemore. Blakemore? Are you related to Henry C. Blakemore? Said, yeah, that's my uncle, my great-uncle. Well, he's my grandfather. I've got books back here. I got boxes. I've got 12 boxes of all his stories about the Blakemore family. And so now I've got this gold mine of Blakemore notes and family history kind of thing. And Becky's looking at me like, I'm ready to go now.
Whoa.
But you hit the gold mine sometimes.
It's amazing. And this is that first step.
Yes.
To finding that gold mine of information, or sometimes a literal gold mine. I mean, you might find a big case full of jewelry buried in the woods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. But I guess in our quarterly meetings, we have one each quarter, and it's each one of those, there's a program about some kind of genealogical aspect. Last year, we did an educational series where we, found the family photos. Some unusual places that you may find family photos, that some online, some not. And then we're able to, I guess from that, we looked at enhancing and correcting. We used, a computer to kind of improve the image of that. And now we're looking at our meeting in April to take all that information that we went through and put it in a usable book that we can pass on. And so that's what we're going to be talking about at our April meeting, is how to develop our own family history book and publish it. Because there's so many tools now. We can publish an ebook on your family and just email it out to everybody. You don't have to publish it if you don't want to.
Amazing. Wow. So, Robert, thank you so very much. Don't forget to RSVP to AI and Technology and Genealogical Research by emailing ccgsga76@gmail.com. For more about the Carroll County Genealogical Society, check out ccgsga.org. Hey, thank you so very much, sir. Appreciate you coming in. And to everyone who tuned in with us today, we'll see you next time.